So, if you didn't know, before the Industrial Revolution, blue and pink were interchangeably used as neutral colours for babies. They were just both kind of seen as like baby colours, like baby blue, baby pink. And clothes were more differentiated through gender by cuts, the pockets, the style of pockets, and the like decoration patterns and so on, rather than the actual colour itself. And this was a thing up until like the 50s, where it started to really change. Now, that's not to say that before the 50s nobody used blue as a boy colour. Just saying it was less common before the 50s. Up until the 50s, yeah, they were just kind of used interchangeably as like baby colours. But in the 50s, after some cultural shifts, and people like Marilyn Monroe, and like her hot pink dress in that film, it kind of like swayed the culture to like pink being a girl color and boy being a blue color, which advertising and marketing companies ate up. Like, they started separating the clothes by color pretty indefinitely up until now. Also, it was another way to make people buy more stuff, because if you had like a baby boy and then you had another son, you could reuse a lot of that same stuff. Rather, if you had a boy and then a girl, the idea is you have to buy all of this new stuff because it has to be pink because it's a freaking girl. Oh! Now, other interesting facts to know about history is women have never been really loved in it. In 1777 is the first time in the USA's like laws it indefinitely said women cannot vote, and that's different from the UK was 1832. So the UK was after that. That was the only, not saying that women were allowed to vote before that, because they weren't, but it was more of a cultural thing, and the oppression of women, you know what I mean? Rather, after those specific years, it was legally in, like, writing in the law itself. Interestingly, though, Jeanette Rankin was the first woman to run and be elected for any type of governmental role in the USA, which was in 1916, which is notably 2 years before women got the rights to vote in the US. In the UK, on the other hand, it was 1918 that any women got the right to vote, but it was actually like only women over 30 and only women who had like property in the name, and which I'm not 100% sure on the number of how many women could vote under those like laws. Sorry if my chair is squeaking, by the way. Nothing I can do about it. The only way for them to have the right to vote after 1918 was for them to have a property in their name, which is incredibly hard for women to ever do. So you either have to have a really, really rich husband who like gifts you a house or a property, or it was because a woman had a rich husband who like died and she was a widow and she got his property. It was only a few years after that that more women were legally allowed to vote in the UK. But keep in mind, it was not still all women. And I could not find an exact date. Mind you, after I like tried like 3 separate like worded Google searches on like when every single woman over 18 in the UK could vote, and it didn't come up immediately, I was like, they're hiding that information. Why don't they want us to know, huh? Makes you think. Maybe we're all in a simulation. I don't know. And then another interesting year date to know is in 1968, in a small Italian town, there was a man who was cooking up a recipe for Kinder chocolate. And Did you know that Did you know that Ferrero was also owned by the same guy who made Kinder chocolate? Crazy. I thought Kinder was Dutch, I'm not gonna lie, for a really freaking long time, up until like a week ago when I did the research for this video. Now, let's link all of this together, shall we, right? Blue and pink only in like the 50s started becoming like gendered colors. And Ferrero Rocher and Kinder Chocolate was made in 1968. But reportedly, only in like 2010s, I did struggle to find an exact date when Kinder released their first product line that had blue and pink as this gendered thing. I did find a very cool blog post from 2013, and it had a lot of information on this exact topic from around the same time Kinder Chocolate released that line of like pink and blue eggs, and it particularly talks about like the toys in each. And now currently it's Friday, the 29th of August at 8:15 p.m. and I'm making this freaking video. Hi, my name is Sophie, and it took a really freaking long time to film this video. I bought these two Kinder eggs almost 4 months ago, where I thought it'd be really silly if I made a video about these two Kinder eggs. The girl one, which has mermaids on it, and they're really shit graphics on it. And then the boy one, which has a guy running, and it's a fucking dinosaur behind him. Holy moly. And I wanted to give my opinion on what's inside these Kinder toys. Kinderjoys. What's inside these Kinderjoys? Now, I have two hypotheses. Either they're both really shit, equally shit toys that could be kind of gender neutral vibes, or they will be hyper specific gender toys and I'll be disappointed in the girl one. And yeah, we're just gonna friggin' open them, eat the chocolate, discuss, and that's it. That's all I have planned. Right, so we are gonna open the boy one first, because that's the less anticipatory one, you know. I think the chocolate's still gonna be fine. Oh my god, actually I'm not kidding. Do you think that's alright? Just keep in mind I squished it. Do you see those kind of like little bumps? Is that mold, do you think? I bought these on God a few months ago, first of this month. I actually think I can't eat that chocolate. Oh, that was the fun part of the video, was I gotta eat the fucking chocolate. And it's definitely fucking off. Well, I'm opening the girl one and I'm gonna see what that one fucking looks like. I fear that's mold. Like, as much as I'm that girl, as much as I'm the girl to cut round the mold, I'm not gonna eat a fucking cup of moldy chocolate. I'm just not gonna do that. That's feels irresponsible. It feels irresponsible and wrong. I'm gonna take these to the bin downstairs. I'm not gonna eat them, and I'm not gonna put them in the bin in my room. I'm really upset. It's fine. cinnamon roll. Okay, now we're gonna open the toys. So this is the boy one. But look! Look at that! I was kind of hoping for some dinosaurs. That almost even looks kind of like a girl. Not just because they have long hair, but they have like eyelashes and like maybe a little lipstick looking situation. It comes with this little thing. Maybe it will like have a name for this creature. Oh, this most certainly is a girl. Look at the characters you can get. Tell me that's not a girl one. Or a feminine presenting one. I think so, because that could be a femme presenting one too. And then that one feels quite masked. And there's like a little bit of constructing to this. I gotta like put a rope through a hole. I'm not fucking doing that. You click it together. What is it? It's a keychain? Is it a keychain? Oh, it's an earphone, like a cable earphone holder. I don't know. Like this is the earbud bit, and then that's the wire bit. It's fucking tiny. It's really hard to see. But I imagine because children are tiny too, they might be able to see it. So maybe they'd understand. Why do children have earbuds? I mean, like, I know we live in an age of technology now, but like, Kinderjoy is a pretty accessible toy. Why would they make their toy an accessory to something which is in kind of more expensive? I don't know. Not the problem. Why are we fucking talking about this now? Anyways, boom, that's the boy toy. Let's go girl toy now. I feel like my first hypothesis is true. Because even the girl toys in like 2010, because of the blog I was reading, they were like decent quality. That was literally a hunk of plastic with a sticker. Why is the girl toy so much freaking better? Oh, never mind. Guys, never mind. Anyone complaining about women's rights, you can shut the fuck up now. Bro, and it comes with stickers. Bro, this is a well better toy. Wait, does it hold the stickers? Does it hold the stickers? Okay. There's like way more construction to that. That is literally both of my points destroyed. So obviously, feminism, there is a massive point to it. I feel like I might have alluded to that to some of the more roundabout talk about like women's rights and when we actually got the right to vote and like who that was for. And we very much glazed on it. Let's keep that real. Yeah, have more conversations about women's rights. Talk to more women about the struggles of being a woman in modern day society, especially with the expansion of AI and technology. And read more things that make you uncomfortable. Read more things that hurt and is hard for people to listen to. That's the only way any of us can truly grow. Get uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable what humans have done. What we do is uncomfortable. Accept that. Just remember, it's not always about you. Take a look at yourself and make that change. It says that this bitch fucking stands on this, but I can't get that to stick. Okay, so it took it apart. I don't really know with this one. I'm not gonna lie to you, actually. Oh, okay. I don't think it's meant to stick. I just think it's meant to open this secret little hideout. Look, I'll show you. Okay, so like, how can you see that? Can you see that? You gotta make him like jump. Ta-da! Now it's open. Brilliant safe to keep all of your children's secrets. Yeah, so to be honest, I'm a little shocked. I gave my hypotheses at the beginning of the video. Well, not the beginning, but close enough.